Oh no, we definitely got footage at this mom crib. She live in building 18 out here.
But how did the cops link him directly to the murder? I've got all the details. Let's break it down. The streets turned deadly on August 17th, 2025. Remember that date, because that's when everything changed forever. That's when the rap game lost its innocence and revealed its true face. Ariela Long Costa Maya Palano, a 29-year-old Dominican bartender, was found slumped inside a car on the Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon, New York. But this wasn't just any woman caught in the crossfire. She was connected to one of the most controversial figures in hip-hop, Tekashi 6ix9ine. And what happened to her would expose one of the coldest, most ruthless beefs in rap history. Picture this. It's early morning, around 8 a.m., when police pull up, thinking they're just responding to a broken-down car. Instead, they stumble onto a full-blown murder scene. Ariela's body was found inside a black Mercedes-Benz G-Class, riddled with multiple gunshot wounds. The vehicle itself was torn apart, bullet holes all over, the driver's side window shattered. According to the Westchester County Police, this was no random act. She had been deliberately targeted. The FBI quickly got involved, joining local authorities. Clear evidence that investigators believe this was tied to organized crime.
Tekashi 6ix9ine ex-girlfriend or side chick or whatever kind of relationship they got, but they had a relationship, even though I don't think they like boyfriend, girlfriend, but I do think they got a relationship. She was shot and killed in New York. I believe yesterday, the other day, leaving outside of the club, sitting in her car, a gunman murdered her. You know, some people believe she was the intended target.
Now, let me break down who Ariela really was, because she wasn't just some random woman caught in the crossfire. Ariela was a true boss who built her own empire from the ground up. With over 550,000 followers on Instagram, she had the influencer game on lock, all while working as a bartender at Icon New York, one of Manhattan's hottest nightlife spots where celebrities and high rollers came to party. She was also known for appearing in 6ix9ine's music videos and was rumored to be one of his main partners, though the two always kept their relationship low-key. But here's the chilling part. Just hours before her death, Ariela was posting on her story, showing herself at Icon New York, laughing and celebrating with friends, completely unaware that the night would end with her life cut short. From party mode to a body bag in the same night. That's cold. When the news broke, the hip-hop community was shaken with grief and shock. Tekashi 6ix9ine, real name Daniel Hernandez, shattered his usual silence and posted an emotional tribute on Instagram. He called Ariela a tremendous woman with the most beautiful heart, and for the first time ever, publicly claimed her as his partner. Think about that. 6ix9ine, a man who always kept his personal relationships hidden, suddenly pouring his heart out on social media because someone he loved was executed in cold blood.
Is the female. We seen Cardi B post her. Yes, we seen Cardi B post her. We seen 6ix9ine post her. We seen the blogs post her. This is somebody of some type of relevance in this loop that you people love so much. Yes, and one thing I want people to look at this, right? Look, pay attention.
But 6ix9ine wasn't the only one showing love for the fallen queen. Tributes poured in from Icon New York, Starlets of New York, Opus Lounge, and even Cardi B, who called her Dominican Pretty. All those nightlife spots where she worked and lit up the scene made it clear. Ariela had that rare energy that could brighten any room she walked into. But this is where the story takes a darker turn, where some of hip-hop's deepest and deadliest beefs start to resurface. As soon as word spread about Ariela's murder, the streets started buzzing, and all fingers pointed in one direction. Many speculated that her death might be tied to 6ix9ine's messy history, his legal battles, his gang connections, and the long list of enemies he made over the years. Rumors spread quickly that she was killed as payback against him, with whispers claiming 6ix9ine himself was in the car when the shooters pulled up. To understand why, you have to look at 6ix9ine's world. Despite his chart-topping records and platinum plaques, he's managed to create more enemies than almost any rapper in history. His cooperation with the feds in the 2019 9 Trey Gangster Bloods RICO case branded him a snitch across nearly every hood in America. On top of that, his loud trolling and constant disrespect fueled beef with nearly every respected artist in the industry. But out of all those feuds, none were more personal, bitter, or dangerous than his war with Trippie Redd. Michael Lamar White IV, better known as Trippie, had once been 6ix9ine's close friend and collaborator. Back in 2017, they were tight, dropping tracks together like Pole's 1469 in April and OE in July, both released under Strange Entertainment during the height of the SoundCloud wave. For Trippie, those tracks were part of his come-up in the SoundCloud rap scene. For 6ix9ine, it was his breakthrough, an up-and-coming Brooklyn rapper getting his first real shot through the connection. But that brotherhood fell apart quickly, and what followed became one of the most vicious and personal beefs in modern rap history. The first signs of trouble appeared in August 2017, when disturbing allegations resurfaced about 6ix9ine's 2015 legal case, where he was charged with using a child in a sexual performance. A Twitter account began exposing his involvement with a 13-year-old girl. That was the breaking point for Trippie, who publicly cut ties. In a now-deleted Instagram video, he made it clear, 1,400 don't promote pedophiles. With that statement, he effectively declared war on his former friend. What followed was a series of escalating confrontations that would turn their feud into one of the most notorious in hip-hop. Things got physical on November 11, 2017, when Trippie was attacked at a New York hotel by one of 6ix9ine's shooters. Moments later, Trippie went live on Instagram, accusing 6ix9ine of setting up the hit and hurling every insult in the book, calling him a weirdo, a rapist, and far worse. Later, during his 2019 federal trial, 6ix9ine admitted he had ordered the attack out of jealousy because Trippie had been signed to their label first. The beef only intensified throughout 2018, as both artists went at each other's necks on social media and through diss records. Trippie dropped I Kill People featuring Chief Keef and Tato, a direct and disrespectful shot at 6ix9ine. But the most explosive moments came during their Instagram live battles, where the entire internet tuned in to watch the two hurl insults and threats at each other with pure hatred.
Yeah, my dad, homies. What are you talking about?
What up, Black D?
What are you talking about, bro?
Give me what I'm talking about.
What dad homies you talking about?
Nigga, all your dad homies, nigga. I don't give a who I'm talking about. All them niggas. Fuck
Who you talking about?
You
Who you
ain't your
talking
dad
about?
homies. Who you talking about? I'm gangster like that.
Oh, you gangster. Like
You
that.
know I'm gangster like that.
Where you at?
I'm in Brooklyn. Me where I'm at. I'm in Brooklyn. Nigga. Where I'm
Alright,
at.
say less. Stay in Brooklyn.
I'ma stay in Brooklyn.
Alright, bet. Say less. We on the way.
Yo, Trippie, listen.
We on the
Michael
way.
White. Fuck Michael.
This wasn't just another rap beef. This was personal. This was street. And it was obvious both men genuinely wanted each other dead. The feud escalated to an even darker level when 6ix9ine crossed the ultimate line, telling Trippie Redd, F*** your dead homies. Asterisk. In street culture, that's one of the most disrespectful things you can say. It's the kind of statement that doesn't just fuel anger, it practically invites retaliation. At that point, it was clear this conflict had gone far beyond music and had entered the territory of real violence.
Alright, say less. Stay in Brooklyn.
I'ma stay in Brooklyn, nigga.
Alright, bet. Say less. We on the way.
Yo, Trippie, listen.
We on the
Michael
way.
White. Fuck Michael. You and your dad homies, nigga. I'm talking about nigga, stay there, nigga. Of course I'm gonna stay here, nigga. Motherfucker, your dad homies. What you think, I'm pussy? You and your dad homies. Nigga.
The darkest part of their feud was that it had already spilled into real-life violence. In federal court, 6ix9ine testified that his crew followed Trippie from a video shoot back to his hotel, where Anthony Harv Ellison punched Trippie in the mouth. Think about that. It had already crossed from words to physical assaults. The personal nature of their war grew even more toxic when women were dragged into the conflict. In September 2018, 6ix9ine posted videos with Trippie's ex-girlfriend, Alicia Dollar, flaunting the relationship just to humiliate Trippie. The drama escalated further in June 2020, when Alec Dollar posted old footage of herself in bed with 6ix9ine, while his ex-manager Shotty snapped photos of the moment. This came right after 6ix9ine's release from prison in April 2020, when he wasted no time reigniting his trolling campaign against Trippie. The psychological warfare between the two became twisted and relentless. Their Instagram live confrontations put the pure hatred on display for the entire world to see. This wasn't about entertainment, publicity, or rap hype anymore. This was real street beef, and it was becoming more dangerous with every encounter.
Eastside Fire, non-motivated brim, nigga. Say it with your chest, pussy ass boy.
Know that.
You a bitch, bro. And you will not put hands to me, my nigga. Stop acting like you really about this life, bro. I gave you your hit, nigga. I made you, bro. Everything you do, I get a check from you.
As news of Ariella's murder spread through neighborhoods and trap houses across the country, the streets immediately began connecting the dots. Could this long-standing feud between 6ix9ine and Trippie Redd have finally reached its deadliest conclusion? The timing felt too suspicious, the hatred ran too deep, and the history of violence was far too real for anyone to believe it was just coincidence. The streets don't lie. By now, we've seen the bitter foundation of animosity between 6ix9ine and Trippie Redd, and the cold-blooded killing of someone close to the rainbow-haired rapper only deepened suspicions. What unfolded in the years leading up to Ariella's death revealed a disturbing pattern of escalating threats, acts of violence, and obsessive behavior that showed just how far this street war had spiraled out of control. One of the most chilling elements of this feud came to light during Trippie Redd's Instagram live sessions, where he issued threats that, in hindsight, carried far more weight than people realized at the time. In one particularly shocking video from 2019, Trippie crossed every line of street respect by making direct statements about 6ix9ine's family. Words that, in street culture, are almost certain to provoke deadly retaliation.
Oh no, we definitely got footage at this nigga mom crib. She live in building 18 out here.
This wasn't just internet bravado. Trippie Redd was effectively admitting to stalking 6ix9ine's mother, tracking where she lived, and then broadcasting it on social media. This level of surveillance and intimidation went far beyond a typical rap feud, crossing into criminal territory where real-world consequences could, and often do, end in tragedy. It gets even darker. During the same live session, Trippie issued additional threats, revealing the depth of his obsession and the meticulous planning behind his actions.
Building 18 out here, you dig?
Lucas,
And if you try me again, cause you know I'm hacking that phone that I got, right? I'm in that bitch. It's over.
yeah, we know.
I'ma know everything.
About the niggas right.
I'ma know all that.
Let that sink in. Trippie Redd claimed he had hacked into 6ix9ine's phone and was monitoring all of his communications. This level of cyberstalking and digital surveillance demonstrates a chilling degree of premeditation and planning, especially when considering what ultimately happened to Ariella. The pattern of threats continued to escalate throughout their feud. Trippie made explicit statements about showing up at 6ix9ine's mother's house armed, blasting his own song Gummo, and bringing shooters with him. These weren't just empty words. They were detailed accounts of criminal activity unfolding in real time.
Where the lighter at, B? Where the lighter at, son? We in Brooklyn. I pulled up to this mama crib last night and bumped gum on, nigga. I pulled up to this, hey, you know that address he was trying to get y'all in his interviews? I pulled up to this mama crib and bumped gum on with the straps out, blowing big dope.
Don't think we don't got footage. We just think stupid.
Trippie Redd's own words revealed just how far he had taken this feud. In a now infamous recording, he described showing up at 6ix9ine's mother's house in Brooklyn, blasting his song Gummo, armed and ready, documenting the entire ordeal. The implications of this confession are chilling. Trippie was openly admitting to stalking, intimidation, and potentially armed criminal activity, all while using psychological tactics to torment his target. This wasn't mere bravado. It was a detailed account of real-world threats that should have drawn immediate attention from law enforcement. Perhaps most disturbing was how Trippie appeared to revel in the psychological warfare, threatening to expose compromising material about 6ix9ine, including personal and potentially humiliating content. This pattern of escalating threats, surveillance, and intimidation painted the portrait of someone growing increasingly obsessed and dangerous with each passing day. The level of premeditation and planning he displayed in these videos is exactly the kind of behavior that can lead to someone getting violently targeted in the streets. Now, to fully understand this street war, we also need to examine 6ix9ine's side, because his responses and actions only fueled the escalation of violence. During his 2019 federal trial, 6ix9ine admitted under oath that he had orchestrated the November 2017 attack on Trippie Redd. This wasn't speculation or street rumor. It was a direct confession in federal court, confirming that he had used violence against his rival. 6ix9ine revealed that he leveraged his gang connections with the 9 Trey gangster bloods to plan attacks on Trippie. He testified that his crew followed Trippie from a video shoot to his hotel, where Anthony Harv Ellison physically assaulted him. This established a clear pattern. Both sides were willing to engage in real-world violence, and both had the means and connections to turn threats into reality. 6ix9ine had already demonstrated he would order hits, while Trippie's own statement showed he was conducting surveillance and preparing retaliation. Studying their interactions reveals a disturbing psychological profile. Both exhibited obsessive behavior, street rage, and a readiness to escalate conflicts to deadly levels. Their Instagram live confrontations often dragged on for extended periods, with tempers flaring and threats intensifying with every minute. While some technical glitches in these sessions became infamous in hip-hop circles for their absurdity, they also highlighted something far more sinister: the deep obsession both men had with monitoring and confronting each other.
Hold on, wait. Can I talk Can I talk to Alex real quick? I just want to know why.
Complex Magazine later mocked the technical glitches in their Instagram live confrontations, calling them some of the corniest moments in rap beef history because the audio issues often overshadowed the drama. But what many people missed was the deeper obsession driving both artists to continue these confrontations despite repeated technical problems. The involvement of women in the feud added another layer of personal animosity, pushing both sides toward increasingly extreme behavior. When 6ix9ine targeted Trippie's ex, Alex, it wasn't simply about boasting or flexing. It was calculated psychological warfare designed to inflict maximum emotional damage.
Why? I just want to know why.
You said what? You said why?
I just want to know why. Why? Like, why?
Cause I'm hurt. Cause I'm hurt, and I got with a real nigga.
The pattern of using romantic relationships as weapons in their feud revealed just how far both artists were willing to go, involving innocent people in their conflict. This willingness to target individuals close to their rival, rather than keeping the feud strictly between themselves, became a crucial factor in understanding what ultimately happened to Ariella. Trippie Redd's history of street violence also provides context for his capacity to engage in real-world criminal activity. In June 2018, he was arrested in Atlanta on charges of aggravated assault and battery causing substantial physical harm after a woman claimed he pistol-whipped her and pointed a firearm at her during a dispute. The incident reportedly stemmed from a conflict involving Trippie's main romantic partner, and visible injuries on the victim gave law enforcement probable cause for the arrest. This wasn't an isolated incident. In late May 2018, Trippie was also booked in Cobb County, Georgia, after a physical altercation with rapper FDM Grady. According to Grady, the confrontation began when Trippie and his associate, Lil disrespected Grady's girlfriend, escalating into violence. The street pattern was clear. Both parties consistently demonstrated a willingness to escalate disputes into real-world conflicts. Trippie Redd had a documented history of using violence, particularly in conflicts involving women or perceived disrespect. This pattern, combined with his escalating threats against 6ix9ine and his documented surveillance activities, painted a portrait of someone capable of extreme violence when provoked. By August 2025, the feud between these two street figures had evolved far beyond typical rap rivalries into something much more dangerous. Trippie's surveillance, threats against 6ix9ine's family, prior violent behavior toward women, and obsessive tendencies created a perfect storm that would ultimately lead to real bloodshed. Investigators explored multiple angles surrounding Ariella's murder. Some reports suggested she had connections with Nat Cartier, a suspected gang leader tied to Operation Mayweather, an investigation into the Lost 50 Bloke 14 criminal network. Street speculation proposed that Ariella might have been targeted because of her link to Cartier, or that she was caught in crossfire meant for him. Other theories connected her death to 6ix9ine's controversial history, including his role as a cooperating witness in the 2019 9 Trey Gangster Bloods RICO case. Some claimed Ariella was killed as payback against 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine joined the 9 Trey Gangster Bloods in 2017, not through a traditional initiation, but through his manager, Kafano Shadi Jordan. His role was primarily financial, providing resources to purchase weapons and other necessities for the gang while gaining street credibility and protection in return.
What sorts of things did 9 Trey members do?
I'm sorry?
What sorts of things did 9 Trey members do?
We participated in a lot of, violent crimes, robberies, assaults, drugs, sorts of that nature.
Mr. Hernandez, do you recognize anyone in the courtroom who was a member of 9 Trey when you were a member?
Yeah.
But here's the harsh reality of 6ix9ine's approach. He leveraged street credibility to advance his career, incorporating 9 Trey members into music videos like Gomo, complete with red bandanas to create what he described as a full red aesthetic. He admitted, "I knew I had a formula. That's what people liked," essentially acknowledging that he used their reputation as a marketing tool. The relationship began to deteriorate as internal gang tensions grew. 6ix9ine described disputes within 9 Trey, including conflicts between different factions and leaders. The situation reached a breaking point in July 2018, when Anthony Harv Ellison and an accomplice kidnapped and robbed 6ix9ine, pistol whipping him and stealing over $365,000 in jewelry. He managed to escape by sprinting through Bedford-Stuyvesant and seeking help from a stranger to reach a police precinct. This incident revealed that even those he considered brothers in 9 Trey were willing to rob and potentially kill him, setting the stage for his eventual cooperation with authorities. In November 2018, when 6ix9ine was arrested on federal racketeering charges and faced a potential minimum sentence of 47 years, he chose to cooperate with federal prosecutors immediately after his arrest. He pled guilty to 9 counts and agreed to testify against his former associates. The scope of his cooperation was unprecedented in hip-hop. In September 2019, he testified for 3 days, offering an insider's account of 9 Trey's structure, operations, and criminal activities. He detailed shootings, robberies, assaults, and drug trafficking, explaining how the gang used violence both to retaliate against rivals and to protect their operations. The most shocking aspect, however, came when 6ix9ine began naming names. He controversially identified rappers Cardi B and Jim Jones as affiliated with 9 Trey and also testified that Trippie Redd was a member of the 59 Brims, a rival Bloods faction. His testimony was crucial in securing convictions against multiple 9 Trey members. Anthony Ellison was sentenced to 24 years in prison, Al-Jamiah Mack received 17 years, and Kafano Shadi Jordan was sentenced to 15 years. The response from 9 Trey members was exactly as expected. Shadi declared in court that 6ix9ine had broken every code, but added, "I forgive the little ___ after all that. It's all good," while emphasizing that Treeway still remained strong. Wiretap conversations revealed further anger, with Jamal Mel Murder Jones stating, "We created you," implying that 6ix9ine would eventually face retribution. In December 2019, 6ix9ine was sentenced to 2 years in prison, with 13 months credited as time served, alongside a $35,000 fine, 5 years of supervised release, and 1,000 hours of community service. Due to asthma and COVID-19 concerns, he was released to home confinement in April 2020. This chain of events directly connects to Ariella's murder and the ongoing cycle of violence. 6ix9ine's cooperation did not only anger 9 Trey members, it sent shockwaves through the entire hip-hop community. His snitch label didn't just damage his reputation, it made him a target for anyone in the streets seeking notoriety. When you cooperate with federal authorities and help send multiple people to prison for decades, you make lifelong enemies, not just of those you testified against, but also of their friends, families, and anyone who feels disrespected by your actions. The no snitching culture runs deep in hip-hop, and 6ix9ine had violated one of its most sacred rules. His cooperation was seen as a severe breach of street code, drawing criticism from figures across the industry and making anyone associated with him a potential target for violence. While there are theories about mistaken identity or random street violence, the police's statement that Ariella was likely targeted weakens the random violence argument. Meanwhile, Trippie Redd has also faced his own legal challenges. In July 2025, he was briefly arrested at Miami International Airport while attempting to catch a flight to Europe. The arrest was tied to an active 2023 Miami-Dade County bench warrant related to an invalid driver's license case. He was detained, processed at the Turner Guilford Knight Correctional Center, and released on a $150 bond. This incident disrupted his travel plans to perform at the Les Ardents Music Festival in Belgium, scheduled for July 5, 2025. Trippie Redd later addressed the arrest humorously in a comment on DJ Academic's Instagram post, writing, "Was going to pick up 600 kBW2 shows SMH. That's Lil though, and my bond was $150 LO, but the Channel 6 News played my song." Trippie Redd also mentioned, "And I made $750 off that," reflecting his attempt to downplay the incident while noting its minor financial impact. A far cry from someone supposedly fleeing murder charges or evading federal authorities. The arrest occurred shortly after Trippie Redd and fellow rapper Coi Leray welcomed their daughter, Mayoko, on June 16, 2025. The couple, who began dating in 2019, experienced a publicized breakup and reconciliation, with recent reports suggesting ongoing drama due to allegations of infidelity. This is the reality of Trippie Redd's life in 2025, navigating minor legal issues, relationship challenges, and the responsibilities of being a new father, not orchestrating murders or fleeing international justice. So what does all this mean? What is the key lesson from this tragic street story? The truth is that Ariela Mejia Palano was brutally murdered in cold blood, and someone must be held accountable. Her death attracted widespread attention because of her prominence as an influencer with over 550,000 Instagram followers and her connections to high-profile figures like 6ix9ine and Cardi B. Her colleagues, friends, and nightlife venues mourned her loss, emphasizing her vibrant personality and her meaningful impact on the community. The fact that 6ix9ine admitted in federal court to ordering violence against Trippie, combined with Trippie's detailed threats involving surveillance and retaliation, demonstrates how these conflicts can quickly escalate from entertainment or rivalry into serious criminal behavior. The investigation into Ariela's murder is ongoing, and there may indeed be connections to the dangerous world surrounding figures like 6ix9ine. Some reports indicate that police have detained Nada Cartier for questioning, although no formal charges have been filed. Claims circulating on social media that Ariela was targeted for providing information to authorities or caught in an attack intended for Cartier remain unverified and should be treated as speculative. Thank you for watching. If you found this video compelling and shocking, be sure to explore other similarly engaging content on the screen. I'll see you in the next video.